Alright. Hey guys. I tried to make this video before, but it like stopped all of a sudden after like a minute. And I was like da 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 talking and I didn't even realize. Okay, so I want to document this because I have been experiencing rapid cycling and mixed episodes. And when I went to my psychiatrist a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, I don't know. He had increased my Lamictal from 100 to 150, and I agreed because I was having like racing thoughts and blah. And at first it helped. The first week it helped. I was great. Everything was fine, you know. But then after that, I started to cycle, and it was like one day I'd be really, really happy, and then the next day I'd be depressed and crying. And then it started getting closer and closer together with the cycling. And then it started being like I would cycle throughout the day. Like yesterday, I cycled at least 5 times that I remember cycling. You know, I'd be really, really happy, and then I'd crash. And it would happen within like 2 hours of each other. Like I'd be happy for 2 hours, and then I'd crash for 2 hours, and I'd be happy for 2 hours or so. You know, it's not exactly 2 hours, but it was just a couple of hours in between each cycle. And then when I was down, I'd be crying and depressed, and then I'd start laughing over nothing. There was nothing funny, you know, and I was just like, oh my god. So I was having a mixed state while in depression, and then I'd cycle up, and it's really exhausting, you know. And I think a lot of it might be maybe the medicine isn't right for me. Maybe I need something different. And also I've been having a lot of sleep issues. Like I'm just not sleeping well. Even if I fall asleep, I sleep like maybe 2 hours at a time. Sometimes I sleep a little more, but most of the time I don't really sleep. And I'm on 10 milligrams of amitriptyline, and not last night, but the night before I decided to take 2, so that was 20 milligrams. And then I took my melatonin, which is 10 milligrams, and then I took some over-the-counter sleep aid to help me relax and fall asleep. And you know what? I took it at 8 o'clock, and I didn't get tired until like midnight. And then I fell asleep, and I kept waking up every 2 hours. And then last night, I took 3 amitriptyline, so that's 30 milligrams, plus the melatonin, plus the sleep aid. And I took 2 pills of the sleep aid at a time. And I took it at 8 again, and I didn't get any sort of tired feeling until about 11:30, and I was even laying down in my bed trying to like go to sleep, and it just wasn't happening. And you know, my body was tired, so I decided, okay, if my body's tired, maybe my mind will catch up with it, right? So I did fall asleep. It must have been between 11 and 12 because I don't remember falling asleep, but I woke up at 1:30, and I'm like, oh, come on. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go take a shower. Maybe that'll help to relax my body so I can sleep, right? Warm water relaxes you. And it did relax me. And then I took 2 more of the over-the-counter sleep aid, and I fell asleep until like 5. So when, yeah. No, maybe, no. No, I must have woken up at like 2 then, because when I woke up again, because when I got out of the shower and everything, it was like 3:15. So maybe I was up longer than I thought. Oh yeah, I was, because I was watching videos, just trying to relax. I used my phone, and I was like, I'd put on a video, and then I just put it on my stomach, and I try to go to sleep to it. And I did fall asleep, but I woke up at 5 or 5:30. Yeah, it was 5. And I'm like, oh, so I took another sleep thing so I could sleep just until like 7. And I did not hear my alarms this morning, and I woke up at like 8. And I'm like, oh no. And I didn't leave here until 8:30 to take my son to school. And it's because I'm not sleeping, so I'm taking stuff to help me sleep, and then I oversleep in the morning, and this isn't really helpful for me. I need to sleep. On a normal night, if I get 8 hours of sleep, I'm good. I really am. I'm rested. And that's what I need. I need 8 hours of sleep. And I'm not getting it. I'm getting like 2 hours here, 3 hours there, 1 hour here, and it's like, it's messing with me. And I think it's contributing to my cycling, along with maybe the medication not being the right medication. Maybe it's too high of a dose. I don't really know. But I see my psychiatrist next Wednesday, so I'll talk to him about it and just see, what he thinks. Maybe he wants to put me on something else, or I don't know. Maybe change the dosage. I don't really know. But maybe the Lamictal isn't the right medication, and maybe the amitriptyline, because it is an antidepressant. So maybe that's pushing me into having episodes. We'll see. Yeah. So I just wanted to say in my last video, I was talking about my personal experience, but I kept saying like we and us and plural words like that. And I really didn't mean to say it that way. I didn't realize I was saying that. So when you watch that video, or if you have watched that video, just keep in mind, I'm not talking about people in general. Like, I'm not generalizing everyone's experience. I'm really just talking about myself. So just disregard that. Every time I say we or I or anything plural, just imagine I said I or me, okay? I just don't want people to think that I was talking about everybody. I certainly wasn't. Everyone has their own experience. Everyone deals with things differently, and I don't want people to think I was talking about other people, because I wasn't. That's why it's called Inside My Suicidal Mind. My mind. My emotions, what I was going through. So I just want to put that out there. I think I'm coming down off that high I was on. I was like laughing and giddy and like woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And now I'm feeling like I'm calming down, See, I'm already starting to cycle. It's like, come on, right? So, I just want to say one more thing. This is about anxiety. My anxiety. My anxiety. Okay. So, they talk about coping skills and doing things that help you. Like with DBT, they try to help you to focus on right now and not think about all this stuff, and just try to, organize your thoughts and that kind of thing. So, one of my coping skills is actually a crafting kind of project, I guess you could say. I like to crochet, and that's not the same as knitting. And a lot of people ask me, oh, what are you knitting? And I'm like, well, actually, I'm crocheting. And they're like, what's the difference? So for those who don't know the difference between knitting and crocheting, knitting is with knitting needles, and you use 2 of them. Sometimes you can use 3, 4, 5. It depends on what you're making. My grandmother used to crochet and knit, and she'd be making something and she'd have like 4, 5, 6 needles in what she was doing. And I'm like, wow, how do you remember how to do that? So that is knitting. Crocheting is with a crochet hook like this. They come in many different sizes. If you've ever seen a doily, that is made with a crochet hook, but really tiny ones. They go from really, really tiny to big. It depends on what you're making and how thick you want it or how thin you want it. So it helps. This is what I'm making. It's a scarf. It's like this long. I'm like, woo. Okay. It's not done, and if you saw stains on it, I dropped coffee on it. It'll wash out, but I'm just going to finish it anyway. Before I wash it, obviously it'll come apart because it's still attached to the ball. So yeah, that helps me with my anxiety because I have like a high level of anxiety, and it helps me because I'm using both of my hands. And when you use both of your hands at the same time, you're using both sides of your brain, and it helps me to focus. I might still have a thought over here, a thought over there, whatever, but I'm still focusing. And it's helpful. It kind of lessens it a little bit. And also, wow, I totally lost my thought. It ran out of my head. Well, so I'm sure it's still there. What was it? Oh, come on. Come back to me. So, yeah, it helps me focus. Oh, and it helps with, I was talking about, like, I might still have thoughts, like racing thoughts, but it's not as intense because I'm focusing on this. It doesn't get rid of them, but it helps me, and anything that helps to lessen my symptoms is good. And this is a good kind of hobby to have. I won't get in trouble with this. It's not like drinking or whatever. It's being crafty, So, I don't know. That just happens to help me. Not everyone can crochet or knit, even if they try really, really hard. But I just encourage you, like, to find something that you like and do it. If it lessens a symptom, I'm not saying it's going to take it away completely. I know a lot of people want their symptoms to completely go away. And I don't think that's a realistic idea at this point in time, because nothing will take your symptoms away completely. Even if it takes it away for a few months or whatever, eventually you will have another episode. It might be smaller, but I think you'll always have at least one episode, even if it's every 10 years. Some people do that. They're fine, and then like 10 years go by, and then they have an episode. Everyone's different. And I know that because when I went to my NAMI meeting a while ago, there was a guest speaker, and when he was diagnosed, bipolar was only you have a long period of mania, and then you have a long period of depression, and that was how he was diagnosed, and that's how he has his episodes, but a lot has changed since then. And, he said that that's how he cycles, and he's been on, I can't remember what medicine he was on. It's an old school medicine. And that, he says that helps him, and that he hadn't had an episode in like 10 years. But he said, I'm probably due for one, and I probably will have a small episode. So everyone is different. And I totally forgot my point. I'm all over the place. Yeah, I really don't remember my point. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I can't, see, my mind is just, topic to topic to topic. Like, I just switched topics again. I mean, like, geez. Oh, well, I'll talk about this now. See, I'm switching topics again. I gotta go to DMV. I don't know if I already said that, but I gotta go to DMV. I need this one thing because I'm on medication. I need to have my psychiatrist fill it out and then, like, fax it back so I can get my license, because, I told you guys that I lost my wallet. So in order for me to get my license, I have to have that piece of paper. And they gave me it, and I can't find it. So I gotta go back. Ugh, I hate DMV. Waiting. Yeah, I really cannot remember the point I was gonna say. Whatever. Who cares? Alright, so I'm gonna go because it's like 10 of 11, and I don't want to be there like all day long. I probably will, though. And I just need one little thing. Anything else? I think I've been having like mild hallucinations, if there's such a thing. And it's been happening at night. not necessarily during the day. I mean, sometimes it happens during the day, but lately it's been happening at night, and I just see like, okay, a picture, a white background, and then on the white background there's all these shapes and colors and stuff like that, words, whatever, and they just move all around, all around, all around, and it looks cool, but it's like messing with my eyes, I guess. You know, and sometimes I think I see shadows where there shouldn't be a shadow, you know, or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the medication I'm on is the right fit for me. But that's okay. You know, I don't mind trying different medications and seeing what will work as long as it's at a steady pace and I'm not being overloaded with medications. Like, I don't want to stay on this medication if I'm put on another one. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to just completely come off of it. I don't know if that's the smart thing, but titrating down until I come off of it and then starting a new medication, I think that would be best. So I'll just talk to him when I go back. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like, now. I am definitely cycling. Like, I was like all happy and giddy, and, now I'm just like, whatever. I don't know. Well, I'm going to go now so I can get that done. And, yeah. Okay. So, catch you guys later. Hope you all doing well. All right, see you on the flip side.